With the many times that Donald Trump has tried to distract from the Epstein files and kept the Congress from releasing the Epstein files, I think we all knew that there was information in there that he didn't want people to see. And now that these few emails have been released and Adelita Grijalva is being sworn in this afternoon, and there will be a discharge petition that will have about 218 signatures on it. I think we're going to see a whole heck of a lot more. My great fear, of course, is that with the release of that information, which I think will be devastating for Trump, that he's going to do everything in his power to distract. And what does that mean? I mean, he might take us to war with Venezuela. Just to get a distraction in the news and take it out of the headlines. Or, we've seen him do a lot of other things. And of course, the immigration raids and how, frankly, disgusting they've been might be another way that he's doing it.
In 2019, disgraced financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein wrote in an email to journalist Michael Wolff that current U.S. President Donald Trump knew about the girls. The emails were made public on 12 November 2025. However, it is unclear if Trump knew about Epstein's crimes. Democrats released 3 emails where Epstein references Trump. It includes one from 2011, where he writes to Ghislaine Maxwell that Trump had spent hours at Epstein's house with a sex trafficking victim.
I mean, it's not surprising. I mean, this is a world that he was very much part of. It's not clear to what extent he was part of that world, but they interacted with each other. They seemed to be friends. The guy who sort of let Epstein off ended up in Trump's cabinet, so it's not surprising at all that there's more information that connects these two.
What I know today is that Donald Trump is a president, and he campaigned on releasing all the Epstein files. Obsessed about it. His vice president obsessed about it. And now the White House is involved in a massive cover-up, and we want to know why won't they release the files. All of this can get solved right now if they release all the files.
Well, look, we're going to get the 218th signature today. That means by early December, we're going to get a full vote on the Epstein files. And today, there were bombshell emails that came out showing that Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell had emails about Donald Trump's knowledge of what was going on. So we need a full release of the files. Finally, that's going to happen.
In this email you refer to with the name of the victim that was unredacted now and has since been reported on in this room, so I will go ahead and say it, Virginia Giuffre. This is truly a manufactured hoax by the Democrat Party. For now they're talking about it all of a sudden because President Trump is in the Oval Office. But when Joe Biden was sitting in there, the Democrats never brought this up. This wasn't an issue that they cared about because they actually don't care about the victims in these cases. They care about trying to score political points against President Trump. These emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong. And what President Trump has always said is that he was from Palm Beach and so was Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a member at Mar-a-Lago until President Trump kicked him out because Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile and he was a creep. And this email you refer to with the name of a victim that was unredacted now and has since been reported on in this room, so I will go ahead and say it, Virginia Giuffre, that Miss Giuffre maintained, and God rest her soul, that she maintained that there was nothing inappropriate she ever witnessed, that President Trump was always extremely professional and friendly to her. And so I think it's a question worth asking the Democrat Party, and you should all go ask them after this briefing, of why they chose to redact that name of a victim who has already publicly made statements about her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and is unfortunately no longer with us.
Trump and Epstein had been friends for years, but the former claims that in the early 2000s they fell off. The White House also released a statement which claims Virginia Giuffre, who accused Epstein of his sex crimes and died by suicide earlier this year, repeatedly said Trump was not involved in any wrongdoing. At a deposition in 2016, Giuffre said she has never seen Trump participate in any abuse. Since Epstein's death in 2019, investigators and lawmakers have continued probing his network and the events surrounding his crimes. The U.S. Department of Justice announced in July that it would not release any further Epstein files, stating it found no credible information that Epstein trafficked victims to others, nor maintained a client list of prominent people. Simultaneously, the U.S. House Committee on Oversight and Reform, under James Comer, has been pressing Epstein's estate and other parties for documents. In August, it issued subpoenas for his contacts, financial records, and a birthday book of of notes from friends. In September, the estate turned over a third batch of records, including unredacted calendars, call logs, and cash ledgers to the committee, which said it intends to publish without victims' names. Meanwhile, the case of Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's former associate, also advanced. The U.S. Supreme Court declined to hear her appeal of a 20-year sex trafficking sentence in October. Epstein was known for his connections with several powerful figures, including Donald Trump. Epstein and Trump were social acquaintances during the 1990s and early 2000s. Both lived in Palm Beach, Florida, and were seen together at social events. In 2002, Trump said Epstein was a terrific guy who liked women on the younger side, a comment often cited later. However, their relationship reportedly soured in the mid-2000s. According to court documents and news reports, Trump banned Epstein from his Mar-a-Lago club after a complaint involving Epstein and a young woman. When Epstein was first charged with sex crimes in 2008, Trump claimed he had not spoken to him in years. Epstein was arrested again in 2019 on federal charges of sex trafficking minors, but died in jail before trial. Trump, during his presidency, said he was not a fan of Epstein. While Trump's name appears in Epstein's contact list and flight logs, there is no verified evidence linking him directly to Epstein's alleged crimes.